Hello there guys, my name is MrYorkiesWorld, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we did a full flight video, and you might be able to see, or you should be able to see, that it's been a while since we've been in this particular aircraft as well. We are today going to be in the Quality Wings 7878, and we're going to be taking TUI Flight, or TOM, or whatever you want to call it. I'll just say TUI Flight 564 from Glasgow, Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot to Doncaster Sheffield, Echo Golf Charlie November. We do have some clouds. It's pretty cloudy, but it's not too cloudy. It's alright really. The airport's not too busy at all. This is UK 2000 scenery, and we're also going to be travelling over to some more UK 2000 scenery for Doncaster. We've got the catering there on the go with Gate Aviation, and we are on the ground at Gate 30, as you can see. So, fuel and payload then, we've already got all that sorted. Before I get started with that, I will tell you that this flight is probably the shortest flight I've ever done on the channel. According to FlightAware, it should take about 39 minutes, so basically 40 minutes if we round that up from start to finish. So, if I zoom in a little bit, we can see that we're taking 6025 in the left and 6025 on the right, so 35% on each wing, nothing in the centre. We're pretty full, to be honest. Apart from the bulk cargo, we've got a pretty heavy aircraft today in terms of payload. Total weight is 171,131 kilograms, so we are pretty heavy indeed. So let's just get rid of that. It's been a while since I've used this aircraft, so do bear with me. We've got the catering on the go. Like I said, we can go ahead and start up the IRSs. Let's just switch on the flight deck door and the HUMD. Fuel and payload's already been done. We can, of course, switch over the displays, which is something I like to do. And I'm going to turn on traffic, data and VORs, as well as these flight directors as well. And GSX is just asking us to close the doors, so we can go ahead and request boarding now. Auto brake can go to RTO. I believe the transponder, where is it on here? There we go, XPDR. We'll set that XPDR. And we can request clearance as well.
Clearance delivery, Thompson 564. With date is request clearance. TOM 564. Expect clearance within 2 minutes.
So we can expect within 2 minutes.
Thompson,
so in the meantime,
564.
we can start the APU. I will go ahead and make sure that the emergency lights are armed, which for some reason on the Quality Wings, sometimes it has a little bit of a bug where if you don't do this and switch it back to armed, for some reason it doesn't always want to work, but that's fine. We can get around that by doing that little thing there. Here we go with the clearance.
Are you ready to copy? We're ready, go ahead. TOM 564, cleared to destination airport via the LUS India 1 Alpha departure. And then just filed, climb to flight level 70, expect flight
so
level
7,000 feet on the initial.
10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 118.905, squawk 44.
I'm going to switch on the passenger signs because we've got the passengers coming on board now.
Cleared via
I'll switch on the window heats.
Climb to flight level 70.
And the
flight
packs.
level 250 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 180.905, squawk 4457.
We can just make sure the altimeter's set, which it is.
TOM 564, read back correct, contact ground on 121.7. Roger, 121.7.
And let's just check and see which runway we're going to be asked to depart from today. So flight plan information, runway 23, so the heading is 231 for runway 23. Let's just see if I can get this to work. I should probably have gone the other way, but it's too late now. This is going to take a long time. So 231 we need to go to. 231, there we go. And we can go down and get some information put into the FMC. Right, okay. So we are at Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. We are currently at Gate 30. Will it work? Let's see. No, that's fine. That's where we are. Let's just go to next page. In fact, no, we've already got the GPS position, so that's fine. So route Route request. This is a predefined route. Runway 23. Maybe if I tried not putting 3023 it might work. Let's just clear the previous data. So 23. Our flight number is TOM 564. Like so. Activate and execute. We can go to the perf init page. Our reserves are going to be 0.89. Can't type on this thing for some bizarre reason. There we go. Our cruise altitude is 250. And the cost index is 21. Which is what TUI uses for the 787. We can execute that. Thrust limit, we will be using a D-rated takeoff. We're actually going to be using flaps 15 for takeoff. 5.25 on the trim, and our V2 speed is 143 knots. So, $143. However, we do still need to put the departure and arrivals information in. So, depart, we're going to go EGPF. We're using the Lucy 1 Alpha, which is there. Execute that, and arrival. It says NDB 20, but we're actually going to use ILS, so we'll put ILS 20 with the FNY1 transition and the CALD 1 Delta arrival. There we go. So legs. Got a discontinuity there, we can just clear it. No more discontinuities, that's all fine. And with that, we can go ahead and arm LNAV and VNAV as well. I will, I suppose, go ahead and put the fix information in as well. So, Echo, Golf, Charlie, November. Put some radius rings around it, just so I know where I am. Oops, no, that's the wrong one. 150, not 15, there we go. Right, and now we can go to the takeoff page on this FMC, and I will put the second one on the legs page. So boarding's on the go, that's all fine. Can we see any passengers? I don't think we can, no, but we've got the baggage coming on board. What I will say is, I am absolutely loving the scenery, the surrounding area around Glasgow. Absolutely wonderful place. I'd love to go and visit eventually when I get round to it in real life. But there we go, Glasgow International Airport just there as well. So without further ado, if I can just get rid of that. Without further ado, I will catch up with you guys once all of the passengers have been boarded onto the aircraft, which shouldn't take too long. And we should get this beautiful bird off the ground very, very shortly. Right, okay, so all the passengers are finally on board the aircraft. So, I'm going to go ahead and close the doors, all of them. We can also go ahead and get rid of external power. Now, hydraulics, this is something that I'm not entirely sure of. I will do the fuel pumps first, though. Along with the beacon light. Now, hydraulics, I tend to do it the same way I would do it on the 777 or 747, for example. So right and left electric, and then, yeah, that way, basically. That's the easiest way I can put it. That might not be right, but it does the job. So anyway, beacon lights on, fuel pumps are on, centre tanks are off because we don't have any fuel in the centre. Transponder is still on XPDR, so that's fine. We can go ahead and switch on the auto throttle. We can request pushback clearance.
Ground Thompson 564. Request start up and pushback. Thompson 564. Pushback and start up approved. Approved. Thompson 564.
And that's all been approved. I am literally just selecting our taxi path. So runway 23 is going to be used, so let's just put that onto there. This gives us the correct taxi path, so we're going to be going tail left and then from Mike onto Golf, onto Alpha, and that's going to take us to runway 23. Right, okay, so without further ado, apologies about the sound loss again. Prepare for pushback and departure, tail left.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not allowed in the cabin or lavatories. All lavatories are equipped with smoke detection systems, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying these systems. As we get ready for takeoff, please help us prepare the cabin by making sure all carry-on baggage is stored.
Any minute now.
Tray tables are upright, headrests are lowered, and footrests.
Where the hell is my view for the GoPro? I don't think I've got one on the 787.
Good day, sir. Just waiting for some apron traffic while the duct's position.
There it is anyway.
Minutes. Parking brake on, please.
Parking brake, just check to make sure that's set, which it is. We've got the flight control page up, just so I can do a control check and to set the trim as well. And obviously we've got the takeoff ref page here.
Lock in the gear. Tuck is in position, bypass pin is inserted. Apron's now clear, ready to push. Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Clear behind, commencing push.
Okay, starting engines.
Engines clear, start at your discretion.
And engines. Wonderful sound. And hopefully GSX will push us back right onto the taxi line this time. Done it a few times as a test flight this just before I made this video, and we've been having a few issues with GSX, so hopefully we should be okay. Look at that. And it seems to have worked, it's got its dead on. So that is definitely a positive.
Push now complete, set parking brakes please.
Right, okay, parking brakes are set. We can go straight ahead and set the flaps, which are going to be set to 15. And while we're at it, we can also do a quick control check. So, full left, full right,
Roger, start up approved. United
we can go full forward, full back, and rudder left, rudder right, and of course we can sort out the trim as well. So the trim is going to be 5.25.
United 162.
Like so. There we go. So we can get rid of the flight control page now. Back onto the CDU. On the legs page, which is already on. We can request taxi clearance.
Ground Thompson 564. Request taxi. Thompson 564. Taxi by Mike.
Switch off the APU.
Runway 23. Via Mike
Taxi
Delta
lights
Alpha,
and turn
runway
offs.
23. Thompson 564.
Left is clear, right is clear, disconnecting now, have a good flight.
And of course we can do a very quick recall, which by the looks of it, the only issue is TCAS, which we're not going to be doing anything with TCAS anyway, but we can cancel that. Now when I release the parking brakes in a few seconds, when this guy's got out of our way, I'm expecting the aircraft to roll forward without me even needing to do anything, which is actually pretty useful. But here we go. We've got a weird black flickering that seems to happen when I'm panning around using the middle mouse button. I'm not sure what's causing that. But nevertheless, absolutely gorgeous aircraft. There goes the tug. We're going to pretend that he's now at a safe distance. Parking brakes released. And instantly we should start to see the aircraft move forward. There we go. One of the many things I like about the 787, sorry, not 737 as I was about to say. We do have some traffic to the left, which I will stop for. Unless they're going to stop for us. And according to GSX, the 757. And it's a United 757 at that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's causing this weird black flickering. It's very annoying. I seem to remember there was definitely something that I changed in the settings at one point, and it fixed it, because we had that issue with, I think it was EasyDock. Back in the EasyDock days, we had the issue with the black flickering, and it was down to something like FXAA or something like that. But I'd rather not disable FXAA, because I like the effect it has now in 4.5. But there we go, 757 is out of the way. We can resume taxi. One of the negative things about Pro ATCX is it doesn't actually tell you to hold position or anything like that. It just tells AI traffic, which is a little bit annoying. So anyway, a little bit of information about this flight. Again, we are departing. It should be 9:20 AM local time, or 8:20 Zulu. It's currently 8 Zulu, 0800. We're travelling approximately 241 nautical miles. It should take about 39 minutes from Glasgow to Doncaster. Our call sign or our flight number is TUI 564 or TOM 564. And this is a nice short hop in such a beautiful aircraft. Alright, so here we go. 757 in front of us is literally just about to go onto the runway. So we're going to hold short. Just at this line here, which I'm assuming is the only line on the threshold. Doesn't appear to be any other sort of holding points or anything. Although we could wait over there, actually, where he's waiting. That makes more sense. And there he goes.
Tower, United 162. Holding short at runway 23, ready for departure.
United 162. Line up runway 23.
Lining up runway 23. United 162.
Oh, there is another hold short point, that's fine. Should get a decent view of his departure as well. If I can steer this thing, that would be helpful. There we go. Right, okay, let's take a look. Would it be better to look through this view? There we go.
Wind 190 at 14. Runway 23, cleared for takeoff. Good flight.
Runway 23, cleared for takeoff. United 162.
And with that, here he goes. Or not. Definitely taking his time. He's gone ahead and stopped. There we go. And away he goes. Let's just raise the view a little bit. There we go. And he's up and away. Perfect. Let's request clearance to enter the runway.
Tower Thompson 564. Holding short of runway 23.
Transponder.
Thompson 564. Line up runway 23.
Landing lights.
Lining up
Taxi
runway
lights off.
23.
Strobe lights on.
564.
Parking brake released. No power required. Nice and slowly. Trying not to make a mess of the lineup.
Thompson 564. Wind 190 at 14.
There we go.
Runway 23. Cleared for takeoff. Good flight.
Okay, so clear for
Runway
takeoff. We
23,
can
cleared for
start the
takeoff.
clock.
Thompson 564.
Engine's about 50%. And Toga.
Check thrust.
Here we go.
Thrust set.
Wind's blowing around a bit.
80 knots.
80 knots. We are blowing all over the place here.
B1.
V1.
Rotate.
And rotate.
B2.
Wonderful. Positive rate. Gear up. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous.
Departure Thompson 564. With you passing 700 for flight level 70.
Thompson 564, radar contact. Continue via the Lima Uniform Sierra India 1 Alpha departure route. Climb to flight level 70.
Via LU.
Okay, so autopilot in command.
Flight level 70. Thompson 564.
And the only thing is with the 787, I can't quite see what I'm doing here, so we can go to flaps 5. Flaps 1.
Pop Echo Hotel Juliet Papa.
Ah, we've got some fog about.
Present altitude.
Present altitude. VH.
And I'm going to take flaps up. Wonderful. Very foggy. It's unusual that we didn't see that. But nevertheless. So, turn off lights can come off.
Thompson 564.
Seatbelts to auto.
Climb to flight level 170.
Climbing to flight level 170. Thompson.
170 now. As we begin that left turn. Oh, and it's raining as well. Even better. We're getting blown around quite a bit.
Takeoff checklist.
Got some traffic somewhere. 6,000, we can go standard. Clear of conflict, that's all good as well. Look at that. We're actually using FTX Global Vector as well. And the OpenLC Europe, which I've recently purchased. So I'm hoping that makes a little bit, if not hopefully a lot, of difference to the things that we see in the sim.
Maintain present altitude.
Present altitude. VH.
Very, very windy. And if we zoom out, you can see that already we've got that. Let's just take this view. There we go. 150-mile radius ring there. Top of climbs there, so it's not going to be too long until we start the descent. But I am happy with that. Here comes 10,000. Landing lights can come off. Wonderful. Look at that. Beautiful view. And there we go. So, without further ado, since it's not going to take me that long to actually get us there, we need to fit some cinematics in. So, I will catch up with you guys a little bit later on into the flight. Okay guys, so we've just been cleared to 240. We might as well go ahead and set the aircraft up. I've already done the minimums for the Barrow. We're going to be using auto brake 2. And if we look on the approach reference screen here, you can see flaps 30 at 143 or 148 is going to be our final approach speed. We can have a look at the approach. This is where we are at the moment. We've just gone past the waypoint called Lakey. Travelling down, and this is basically the approach. And we've just been cleared to 160, so let's just plug that in very quickly.
564.
So 160, I will, I'm going to use flight level change actually. And we can set the speed to 250. Like so. So flaps 30, full flaps is what we're going to be using. We've set up the nav radio page as well. 110.95 at 198. And just to have one final look at that approach, if we just turn off moving map, this is essentially it. So we essentially go into the approach phase at Calder. And we follow this round. It's a bit of an unusual set of circumstances, but there we go. Didn't realise you could do that actually, move that around. That's quite helpful. So we go basically right to the airport, over the airport, back around, and we come in for landing on runway 20, which, if you want the particulars, this is it. So 110.95 at 200, or 198 according to the FMC. Nice long runway. Elevation is 26 feet, so obviously the minimums would be 226, or thereabouts. And that is essentially it. So if we go back onto the approach reference page on there, so 145 is now the approach speed, final approach. Are we making much progress? I'm not entirely sure we are in terms of the descent. We might have to employ some speed brakes just to help with that descent. Still got the annoying black flashing, but apart from that, it's been 23 minutes out of the total 39 minutes that it said it's going to take. It's currently 8:31 Zulu, and we should be landing at 8:59 Zulu according to the flight plan, which is obviously nice and early. Or we will be nice and early, should I say. Progress page, 8:46 is our expected, and 8:59 is what FlightAware said. So, we've done pretty well, to be honest. Go back to the approach ref. And I will catch up with you guys a little bit later on into the flight. Okay guys, so here we are. There's the ILS feathers, if we can go down and have a look. And we've got to come up on ourselves just to the left, around, and back onto it. So hopefully we'll manage to do that. We're struggling with speed a little bit at the minute. We are going over speed, but that's intentional. Just trying to get down as soon as we possibly can.
1081. Maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, call in. 1081.
Got the speed brakes out.
564. Send to 3,700.
Descending to 3,700.
A little bit windy. In fact, if we look on the navigation display, it's a 38 knot wind at the minute. Sort of crosswind blowing us to the sort of left. There's the airport. Straight ahead of us, I believe. Yes, it is. And we'll be taking a left turn over here, coming round, and hopefully landing here, or somewhere here. Should really have set the barrow a long time ago, but there we go. Really struggling at the minute. With the wind, that is. So 140, flaps 30 at 140, that's still the final approach speed, or it'll actually be 145. So here comes that left turn. I'm going to slow down as well. We're going to go to about 230 knots.
KLM 1081. Send to flight level 70.
Descending to flight level 70, call in 1081.
Not sure why the aircraft's turning to the right. We need to be turning to the left. Let me just take manual control of this. I believe we may have to ignore Pro ATCX and just take this manually. So let's put away those speed brakes. Arm them. I'm going to go to... should we say flap 5? And I'm just going to bug that heading up just to hopefully get us on the right track. The next waypoint does need to be this one here, so we can execute that. Put that into the FMC. Put LNAV back on. And I'm going to manually descend to 2,500. Keeping an eye on that. What I will do, in fact, is just bug up a manual heading. Pro ATCX is not going to like us. But there we go. So the actual airfield is behind us somewhere. There aren't actually any other aircraft currently landing, so that should be okay. Now, as soon as we get a little bit further up here, like in line with CI-20, I will enable LNAV again, and we can hopefully make that left turn. And that should take us down. I think at this point Pro ATCX may start shouting at us. So we're at flaps 5, that's perfectly fine.
Thompson 564, send to 3,100.
Descending to 3,100. Thompson.
We do need to be descending, which we're not. $3,100 is what we've been told to descend to.
Thompson 564, send to 2,500.
Descending to 2,500. Thompson.
2,500. And we can go, I think, with LNAV. And that should take us to FI 20. So I'm going to go down to the, or below, flat 15 speed. Try and manually bug it just to there. I'm going to go ahead in a few seconds and arm the localizer. as soon as it comes in. Which it is doing. So there's the localizer. I'm going to go gear down and flaps 15. And I'm going to reduce that speed down now. So our final approach speed is 140. So we'll go with 170. Glide slope should be coming in shortly. We'll go another notch of flaps. Flaps 20.
Tower Thompson 564 on final request landing. Runway
And approach.
20.
564, speed to 150. QNH 1007.
Okay, 150 according to the Pro ATCX.
Final approach speed. QNH 1007.
Actually
Clear to land.
going to be
runway
145.
564.
The flaps 25. Flaps 30. Bit of a complicated approach, but I think we got there eventually. Fully configured. Everything's looking good. So the auto brake is set to 2. We've got 3 greens somewhere on the gear. The gear's down. The auto brake is armed. Speed set, flaps are set, everything's set. We do currently have a little bit of a crosswind, blowing us slightly to the left. 22 knots. Which is a little bit different to what Active Sky is telling me, which is 11 knots, but there we go. Very, very surprised that Pro ATCX doesn't shout at me, or didn't shout at me on this occasion, because we did have to make a few changes to the flight plan.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist is complete. We've already done it. Heading's bugged up. Missed approach altitude is 2,500. And we've been cleared to land. Let's try not to make a mess of it. Just check we've got the signs. Yep, we've got the signs. Bear in mind, I've not flown a heavy aircraft in a while. This should be interesting. I do want to get a little bit closer to the runway before I disconnect. So without further ado, autopilot's disconnected, the aircraft is now mine. Going fully visual, although I could use the little device here. You see, to me, it's more of an annoyance than anything else.
400.
Just try and take control of the speed, or the height, altitude, what the hell am I saying?
Approaching 300. Minimums.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ooh, that was a bit heavy. Speed brakes. Reversers.
Open 564. Gauge is right. Contact ground on
80 knots was a while ago.
180.65. Thompson 564.
Welcome everybody to Doncaster Sheffield. I probably should have tried to get that turning a little bit sooner. Maybe we can still get it. Yeah, we should be okay. Bit of harsh braking, but who cares? We're there. We made it in one piece. We'll put the spoilers away. I do want to take a look at that replay actually, so let's just bring it to a stop. Parking brake is set. We can... What the hell am I doing? No, that's the wrong button. Right, add-ons. We can temporarily... In fact, we don't really need to toggle that off, to be perfectly honest. We can literally just go to chase plane. Replay, show the replay window. And we can attempt to take a decent look at this landing. Hopefully, this will all go okay. So without further ado, here's the replays. Right, okay, so that wasn't actually as hard as what I originally thought. I would have liked that landing to be a little bit softer, but there we go. We can't really do much about it. So we can stop the clock. Let's just take a look at how much time that took. So 53 minutes. So it actually took a little bit longer than expected, but it's currently 9:02 Zulu. We should have got here at 8:59 Zulu, so that's not too bad really. Just about the same sort of time as what we predicted to. So landing lights off. We can switch on the taxi lights, switch off the strobes. I will go ahead and start the APU. The flaps can come up as well. Like so. And once again, welcome everybody to my local airport, Doncaster Sheffield. Let's just make sure that everything's configured, which for now I think it is. I'm going to go ahead and just switch off the flight directors. And of course switch off the transponder, or at least to XPDR. And we can request taxi to the gate.
Ralph Thompson, 564, is cleared of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
TOM-564, taxi via Alpha Charlie to Terminal 1, parking position 12.
Via Alpha Charlie to Terminal 1, parking position 12, Thompson, 564.
Okay, so we're not actually going to use that terminal or that particular parking. What we will do is we're going to be using gate number 4 or gate 5. Should we use gate 5? Yeah, we'll use gate 5. It says it's too small, but it's not. And just to make sure, I will go ahead and go to gate 5 and do that. Okay. Right. Apply. Just before we even get there. Right, so parking brake is released. And we can start taxiing. I don't actually need the guides on EFB to tell me where to taxi to, because I know where gate 5 is, that's fine. So not too bad on the landing. Could have been better. Although I have been very, very much used to flying the lighter aircraft. Or the lighter airliners, at least. That may have played a little bit of a part in it. But I do love the amount of detail that has always been put into UK 2000 scenery, and Doncaster is even better. It's just absolutely fantastic. Well, not even better, but it's just the same as everything else. The same as every other piece of scenery that's been created by them. Very, very detailed. I mean, I dare say that that looks basically the same. From what I've seen, I've been to the airport numerous times, as you can imagine, and I would say it is near enough a complete replica. In fact, thinking of which gate to go to, I think we'd be better off going to one of these. And gate 3 looks more promising. But it's too late now. We've got gate 5. Which is not a problem. Absolutely gorgeous view. I love this aircraft. Have we still got the landing lights on? No, I think we've I think we killed those. Yeah, we did. Seatbelt signs are on as well. That's fine. We can turn those off once we get to the gate. We need to take this left onto Charlie, so here we go. Just get a better view. Yeah, I think gate 5 should be okay. Shouldn't be an issue. It is near enough right in front of us. Maybe slightly to the left. And because of that, I will turn off taxi and turn-offs. So here's gate 5. Let's just try and do this the right way. I'm not the best when it comes to parking this particular aircraft. Swing it over to that side a little bit. And we'll take it right to the end. There we go. Parking brake is set. Right. Okay. So, let's go ahead and connect some external power. Switch off the APU. We can cut off the engines. Seatbelts to off. I will go ahead and switch off the fuel pumps and the beacon lights along with the hydraulics. Let's go ahead and get some deboarding. And we're going to use British Midland. So we need to go ahead and open up the doors as well. Looks like we've got all 3 entries. That wasn't very good parking. Well, I do apologise. So 1, 2 and 4 we need to open. So 1, 2 and 4. Cargoes, aft cargo, forward cargo. That's all opened. Welcome, everybody, to Doncaster Sheffield. Despite the various issues we've had, and despite this very annoying black flashing that keeps happening, welcome once again to Doncaster Sheffield. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a comment and a like. And yeah, if you've got any questions, put them down in the comments section as usual. And subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I will catch you with you guys in the next video. Bye for now.